Okay, let's get out of here. Because she's weird. Signing out. Thank you very much. The voice DJ Yuki.
And DJ Drena.
Signing out for SoShi Live Radio Season 2. We'll see you guys. Annyeong.
The views and opinions of this program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Kingdom Podcast. The show might include strong images and language that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
After 3 long years,
Welcome back, Commander.
here we are again.
Say what?
Again with the angst, the controversy, and wit that can withstand anything or anyone it's up against. Here to give you the scoop about K-pop and other crap you can think of, the prima donna of K-pop radio is back. Better, stronger, and well, he's still the rowdy asshole everyone expects him to be. Thy kingdom come! Welcome the evil stepchild of SLR the podcast, the Kingdom Podcast. And here he is, the man of the hour, the best among the rest, and your resident K-pop critic, the voice, DJ Yuki.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast. It is a Sunday night here in the Philippines, the 13th of September 2020. This is Yuki. Welcome back to the Kingdom Podcast, brought to you by Anchor.fm. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and on Anchor at the Kingdom Pod PH. It's basically all in one name now, so you won't get confused. You can follow me on Twitter at Ukemeister, and for our guest tonight, boy, oh boy. You know, there's always this recurring theme that before, when I did, the SoShi Live and then the SLR the podcast, that I would get as much people that I could from the past to guest here, since, we're revamping and we're kind of like taking this thing really seriously now that there's a team and then, and everything in between. So, probably this girl, she would probably be my very first constant co-host. Like, of course, there's Kicks. I always tell you guys that. And then, this girl wasn't my first co-host, but this girl was, as far as co-hosting goes, she really did bring it, like, in so many levels. I guess back then, like, we're more awkward back then due to the fact that, we're young and stuff and blah, blah, blah. But then now, siguro, like, it's a bit different now. Like, I can be, a bit relaxed now since, her and myself have, haven't really drifted away from each other, but we haven't talked in a while. And the first conversation that we had in, like, years is like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? And talk about the shit that went down and whatnot. But yeah, you gotta listen to the conversation that we're gonna have, because it's really a good one. So please welcome on the show, freaking a member of every single relevant cover group that I know.
Wow.
Because you guys are. I mean, you are basically. It's like, what was the name of your what was the name of your EXO cover group? Was it Class B?
No, Class B is the sub-unit, quote-unquote.
Oh, okay.
Or First Class. First Class is the name of the cover group.
Shit, right. Class B was the smaller, the smaller group, and then First Class. Oh my god, you guys are so good. Oh, fuck. First Class was so fucking good. It's like, you guys have... Oh, no. Don't be so humble. Like, you guys covered EXO better than most, like, groups out there. Like, it's nuts. Anyway.
That's too much.
No, it's true. Like, I see your videos. I've watched you live. Fucking A. Please welcome on the show. You can follow her on Twitter at SonyoDren. This is Drena, you guys.
Hello, everyone. So, it's my first time guesting here on Yuki's podcast. And I am not nervous, but I know I'm not talkative. But yeah. let's do this.
She was like, before the show started, uy, alalay ah. Di mo naman, di ako talkative.
Yeah, hindi ako na maingay.
So, she just finished gaming. She's now like, she's now a streamer. She does a lot of things. It's been years that you and I have talked in this, in this kind of platform. Like, for all the listeners, like, what do you do now? Like, basically, so you stream what game and like how much of it takes your time?
It's actually pretty tedious right now. So, okay, I stream Ragnarok Mobile.
Hell
So
yeah.
it's a mobile game, but I play it on the PC.
PC.
I'm using an emulator. So yeah, it's easier to play on the PC.
Yes,
But
it
you
is.
can you can also play it on your mobile. So whenever you're away, you can do your runs and whatnot. And I also play Valorant. It's my first I think serious FPS.
Yeah.
Well, we
How
all
was it?
came. Yeah. Currently, I think I got my aim back, so I'm
So
trying
far,
to
so
climb up
good.
the
Yeah.
ladder. So far, so good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And I know we all came from the Counter Strike era from years,
Sure. Yeah.
more than a decade.
More than that decade ago. Yeah.
More than a decade ago. But I was the kid back then, so I think Valorant is my first serious FPS, and I really wanted to climb up the ladder of the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm trying to do better on this game. Yeah. Yeah.
I just started Valorant this weekend, right?
You started Valorant?
Yeah, I did. So
Oh, okay.
I was playing Valorant and I was like, yeah, good stuff, kind of like CSGO and whatnot. And
Yeah,
then,
okay, let's
like,
go.
in the span of time that I played Valorant, in like, I don't know, 3 games maybe, I killed 3 people.
3 games or rounds?
No, like 3, like
Full games.
whole games,
Full
right?
games.
Full games. I killed 3 people.
Well, that's one person for one game.
Yeah, it's suckish. Don't sugarcoat it. I don't know. I need to practice. Like, I'm not really a fan. I was probably a fan of CS 1.3 back then, and then when CS:GO started, I didn't really play it since I found it difficult. And then this is like Valorant is really competitive. Like, you can't. I don't know how you, as like a streamer, would create humorous content out of something so competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah, that's the challenge.
right?
Actually.
It's a big challenge.
It's a big challenge.
And I did at one point the YouTube thing, which I'm still gonna do. It's just that with the lack
What
of
YouTube
content.
thing?
Yeah, look, I used to do like a YouTube gaming thing. So I played games on YouTube. I played Dota mostly. So it's kind of like
Is
competitive.
this one live? Sorry.
No, it's not. It's not. It's recorded. So I did the Dota thing, which is kind of like competitive as well, but you can make humor out of that. But then, like, when I tried recording a CS:GO video, I didn't post it on my channel due to the fact that it really lacked any sort of humor because it was so competitive. And back then, there was still no Valorant. Wala pa yung Valorant. So, with probably, I tried playing Valorant, so it's competitive, but when it comes to humor, I think you can do it better than CS:GO. However, it's still very difficult to do that. So, you as you streaming and doing this recording Valorant or streaming Valorant, I don't know how you're gonna make it humorous, but if you are already, because I watched one of your streams, but I watched like Ragnarok. Good luck because it's so hard. It's so difficult. I don't know. That's my
Okay,
take
I
on
think
it.
there are 2 types of Valorant streamers. Oh, well, not really, but yeah. One is the competitive one.
Yeah.
You need to be high up on the ranks.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why people would watch you because you're
because you're
high up
effing
in the
good,
ranks
right.
and you're good. another one is that I think you can make humor out of Valorant if your team or you have a team that who are just funny, plain funny. Like maririnig mo sa
Sa mic,
comms,
like, comms mo. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I
That's
don't
how
want
you
to
make
die.
it funny.
Yeah. I'm probably
if
the
your team
teammate.
is,
I'm probably the teammate like that. Like, I'm not gonna play so seriously. I'm just gonna fucking, I don't know, die. Anyway, so yeah, you can follow her again on Twitter at Sonia Dread. And what was your Facebook again? Facebook.com/Rihanna, right?
Rihanna Sekai. Sekai. It's a world in Japanese. Japanese. Sekai.
How do you spell that?
Rihanna. Sekai.
Alrighty.
Sekai.
So Facebook.com slash Rihanna Sekai.
Sekai.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
So
cool.
Rihanna World.
Yeah, Rihanna World. You guys gotta like her on Facebook. It's super cool. She does like dance covers there too. She does a lot of Twice.
Yeah. Those are my dream dance covers. So
Twice,
I
really?
listed. Yeah. Because there are times that I wanted to cover Twice, but I don't have enough members.
Oh, so you were never able to cover Twice.
No, I covered Twice.
You did, right? Momo.
Twice once. Yeah, we did it one time for Yes or Yes for a competitive for a contest.
Yeah, you were with Pao, right? Class B.
No. This is still Class B, but I'm not with Pao. Pao was for first class.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And she had another Twice cover group. I can't remember.
Oh, did she?
But
Oh man,
she has another. Yeah.
I have a lot of friends from the cover group like industry, and like I get confused sometimes. But anyway, let's talk about that later on. Let's get to our first commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll have your juicy stuff from the fucking cover group industry here in the Philippines. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is Mo Twister, and you're listening to the Kingdom Podcast with the voice DJ Yuuki.
What's up, simps? How many of you guys use Spotify as your main music or podcast player? On Spotify, you can listen to all your favorite songs or shows, this show included, and choose over a variety of artists and podcasters for your listening pleasure. So don't forget to download Spotify on your smartphones, and in the process, follow me on social media so that you'll know when the Kingdom Podcast will be on air. That's Yukemeister on Twitter and Instagram. See you there.
Hello, Radish Farm. Welcome to Mama Moo Central, where myself and a possible Moo Moo star guest talk everything Mama Moo. Want the tea? We got you. Want a song review? No problem. Want to just freak about your best girl? Go nuts. Be sure to follow my Twitter at WhatARadRadish to get the latest and greatest from yours truly, while also updates about when I upload. Well, let's get on to today's topic. See you around!
Hey podcasters! Podcasting has become a staple when it comes to new things to try, especially here in the Philippines. Check all of them out on your podcast players like Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We also hope you can donate to the show for as low as 99 cents via our Anchor account. You can go to anchor.fm/thekingdompodph/support. We want to get as much content out there as possible, and a small amount like this would definitely help us out to keep the show going. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
You are listening to the Kingdom Podcast. All our episodes are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and on Anchor.fm. Your weekly dose of K-pop is now back.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Again, you can go to anchor.fm/thekingdompodph/report. You can donate as low as 99 cents via our Anchor account to help keep the show going. So please, if you got anything like that, just go anchor.fm/thekingdompodph/support. Still have Drena here You can like her on Facebook, facebook.com/RiennaSekai, and on Twitter @SoniaDren. Arguably, you're part of the best Girls' Generation cover group in the Philippines, right?
Do I have to say?
You don't have to say yes or no because I know you're not gonna say. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna say yes, but it would break your heart to say no as well. So let me just say that she's part of Nine Flames. Nine Flames probably is like the best like cover group of Girls' Generation here. You know, I'm
maybe the most well known.
Nah, you're the best. I don't know.
Okay.
I saw others.
Okay, this is your podcast.
Yeah, it's my podcast.
Go.
Yeah,
it's your podcast.
But I was trying to. You know, I kept on thinking of the days where I saw Nine Flames. Probably because at one point, right, we did like a photo shoot with Nine Flames, right? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to Taft, and then like, you know, it backstage, like I saw you guys because I know you guys personally. Like most of you guys, I know personally. So there's always that kind of mindset in me that they're maybe having like a lot of difficult times like covering because it's not a joke doing this. I saw you guys. I don't really see you practice, but I'm pretty sure that you guys are hardcore when it comes to practicing because on how you and I'm not talking about Nine Flames.
I'm raising my eyebrows on the word hardcore.
I mean, I'm not talking about Nine Flames. I'm like talking about cover groups in general. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, were you, like, what kind of hardships? Because I probably, like, the photo shoot compared to practices are two different things. Because the photo shoot, you guys are just like, yeah, I remember. I remember. Yeah, I remember Jen, like, just really being so loud, and let's go.
That's how she is, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember things like that on the photo shoot, but probably like practices are different. Like, what kind of hardships did you go through? Like when it comes to practicing, especially like the EXO things. Like EXO was, oh man, so difficult. I don't know.
I guess I could say this on behalf of all the cover dancers out there.
Yeah.
Number one problem would be schedule.
Yeah.
Schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone is on a different. Everyone's schedules are different. Some are working, some are students, some are have shifting schedules. So it's hard to match our schedules. So I think that's the number one problem of all the cover groups.
Because most of you guys are, at the time, probably students, right? So, you have your own classes and whatnot. So, yeah, so schedule is the number one problem, like, in covering.
And the number two problem would be money.
Really?
How do you get to your practice venues? How do you pay for your costumes, pay for the rent? So sometimes there are people, there are cover group members who needs to borrow from money. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's still a thing. I always had this kind of image towards cover groups that you guys are. I wouldn't say rich, but you guys probably have shitload of money due to the fact that you guys do the costumes and things. You guys have budget for that. I don't know.
Well, probably for those working already, money won't be a really big problem. But those who are studying and who are still dependent, sometimes it's hard to ask money from your parents. Especially when they don't support you cover dancing.
Oh shit, that's another hardship, right?
That's another hardship, yeah.
Oh man. Did you ever like personally experience something like that, or were your parents really supportive of you?
They weren't uh they weren't
All in.
they weren't all in. They're just let's just say they're okay with it.
Okay, so yeah, at the time that you were in your peak on covering, you were still a student or hindi na rin diba, right? You were already working.
No, student pa rin ako noon. First class
Yeah, first class.
days, I was a student.
Shit,
I was
right.
a student back then. Yeah.
Let's talk about
First
first
class.
class later on.
Yeah, you remember you went to UP?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So yeah, I was a student back then.
Oh shit! Right.
Right.
Oh, fuck.
Right.
Yeah, I went to UP. There was a thing there.
An event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Nine Flames. You were
Nine
covering,
Flames were
right?
Shit. Yeah, we performed then.
That was where we met each other, I think, for the first time.
No.
Did
No,
we
I
do-
don't.
Yeah, I think so. It was through Jing, of course. Jing, Jing knows everyone. So,
Yeah, I know.
so I don't know. Like, I think that was the first time because that was the first time where I even had a crush on Liam at the time. You know, being a Tiffany bias, and then I saw her. It's like, oh shit, she's a Tiffany bias. Jing, pa-picture naman kami ni Liam. So I don't know. Like, I just feel like right now, especially with the pandemic, right? You know, you can only do what you're basically doing on Facebook, which is like, you know, just cover groups,
Yeah.
like cover the songs to keep your drive, you know, still going because it's so difficult. Like, I feel really bad for the industry of covering due to the fact that I see a lot of you guys like so talented, right? And then, like, you know, you can only appreciate the beauty of covering with when you see them, and if you don't, like, hindi, like, ang hirap naman mag-edit ng like, oh tara zoom tayo, tas ano, cover tayo ng song, you know.
But
Yeah, right. That, you know, syncing and stuff. Like, it's a difficult industry to be in right now. And
but
yep.
people are getting creative.
Yeah, you guys are so creative. I see a lot
People
of
are creative.
Yeah, you guys are getting creative when it comes to, you know, the things you do. And like, do you still, now that you're, you know, streaming and, you know, of course you're working, it's like, do you still have time to, like, you know, open Spotify, just browse on songs and then practice, like, even alone?
Yeah. My page is for three things. I created the page for makeup, for dance covers,
Yeah.
and now for streaming. So I try to make time for dance covers as well.
So
So
there's still
yeah,
that
I still have
practice time. Right.
yeah, I still have time. Let's say for 1 week, I'll dedicate 4 to 5 hours
Oh shit.
just to practice.
In a week?
Yeah, in a week.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that that's much, right? But like, that's 4 or 5 hours, like, ng 4 to 5 hours in one day, and then for that's for the
not
week?
really,
Oh,
not
okay.
really naman for 1 day.
Man,
Sometimes, if time permits, you can do the 4 to
You can
5
do the 4 to
hours.
5
Like
hours,
for Sundays, like let's say, like after lunch, a few hours after lunch, then tuloy-tuloy ka practice and then shoot.
And like,
Yeah.
if you're in the mojo, right? If you're in that kind of thing, like, talagang tuloy-tuloy siya. Like, you're,
Tuloy-tuloy. Yes.
oh man,
Why?
I don't know. Like,
Your
I
reaction
always-
is unexpected.
I always find dancing as a frustration. Whenever I see cover groups, I don't really sort of imagine myself being in one, right? But you always have that kind of, oh man, why didn't I dance? Like, you guys look so cool on stage. I always love the girl cover groups, not because I'm a guy or anything like that. I'm not kind of some. I don't think of it like that. But the girls are doing. Most of the girl groups right now are doing so much better than the guys,
Yeah, I would agree.
right? I mean,
Yeah,
the guys are like, I don't know, like I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but what the hell? The guys are like, let's kulay our buhok, let's put in the chiseled makeup and then like, feel papogi on stage. But then like, you watch someone cover Chanyol and then they look horrible doing the EXO part. And then the I mean, I don't know. I don't want to point names, of course. Like I actually don't know that person, but I saw someone he was super poggy.
So you have someone in mind?
Yeah, I do. He was kind of like super poggy. He's kind of like a douchebag walking. I was like, I'm EXO Chanyol, PH, blah blah blah. And then nung ginawa niya yung EXO part or Chanyol part dun sa ground, I was like, talaga ba? Sad life.
That growl. That was yesterday.
Yeah, right. I mean, sorry. Growl. Right. I want to talk about First Class.
Okay.
I watched you guys live at one time. But
when was this?
I forgot. It was when you wore red. Like the jersey red. The baseball jersey red. Yeah.
So that was Growl.
Yeah, that was Growl.
Growl era.
Yeah, that was Growl era. But I watched you guys do Overdose. The outdoor Overdose where you wore all white and some of you guys wore black.
That was in QC.
Yeah, that was in QC. Yeah, I watched the video. I wasn't there live. Can I just say,
okay,
you guys probably did the best Overdose cover that I've seen in the Philippines. I haven't seen like some others in the worldwide scene, but in the Philippines. Because I was such a dork for EXO at the time that I used to watch like a lot of cover groups. Like, okay, tara, let's watch cover groups. And then I know that you were part of First Class, so I had high expectations since I know your work in Nine Flames.
Mm-hmm.
You guys probably were the best.
I am so touched.
Don't be humbled or anything. Like, you guys were probably the best.
You don't know how much I'm smiling right now.
No, sincerely.
Thank you.
You guys were so good. Plus, ito pa, like, you guys weren't bad looking at all. You guys were all good looking. So, might want to put that out there. Madalang yun. Madalang na nangyayari yun, you know?
Thank you.
You guys were all really good looking. And plus, the costume and the moves. And then, it wasn't really anything flashy since the dance already was a bit flashy. But, it wasn't as on point as others. And I saw people do Overdose in that event. Other groups, boy groups, they sucked balls. Compared to
I can't remember who the other cover groups are, but yeah,
I don't know, they're forgettable.
Grabe.
I don't know their names. But I don't want to sound like, like this is sour grapes for anything. Like I don't hate on other groups. It's just that like, you gotta. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna talk about that later on as well. I'm pretty sure that when someone does a cover of what you covered, and then all of you look at each other, and then it's like, okay. I'm like, dude, Overdose and Growl were probably at one point the most covered songs in K-pop. How many do you think that when you covered Growl, how many other groups did covered Growl at one event?
Yeah, there were a lot.
There were a lot, right? More than 10.
More than 10.
Yeah. So that's insane, right? I mean, you would expect that. But I think like for Overdose, since there was the flip at the end, there was a flip at the end of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Like not a lot of groups would cover that, or maybe they would do like a variation of the flip.
Yeah.
But you guys have a flip. Like not only a flip.
Thank God
like,
for
super
Maggie.
Awesome flip. Oh, her name's Maggie.
Yeah.
Oh man, Maggie. That was like Olympic level flip. Like, oh, dude.
Thank God for Maggie.
That was so good. That Overdose, like, I'm watching it right now. Right? It's nuts. That was the outside place, right? Uploaded by Sheki, I think. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm always used to seeing you as like the dancer because I don't know.
I usually cover dancers.
Yeah.
But
they trust you that
sometimes,
much.
Yeah. Usually yung bias ko rin are normally the main dancers.
as someone who dances, do you still remember most of the dances? that you did?
Choreographies?
Yeah.
Some. Um, when I study uh choreos, I just watch for a few times and then try to dance it whenever, like, for example, I'll watch the dance practice today. Let's say I'll try to study it for a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Then okay na ako. Then siguro when I go out, like when I open the fridge, tapos bigla ko siya maalala. Tapos sasayawin ko lang. So that's how I memorize songs. So na-memorize ko siya and then unti-unti.
Why do I feel like this is
Ganun.
happening on a daily basis for you?
Yeah, kind of. Usually, I think that's how most of us do it. Like, of course, we watch it for
Hours.
Not a few times, but numerous times.
So, pag may naalala ka lang, it's like, yeah, pak.
Ako ganun ako.
Having
Personally.
dinner. It's like,
Oh yeah, why not?
biglang may sasayaw sa harap mo.
Habang nakahiga. Oh, I do it. May sumasayaw ko sa harap ng parents ko.
That's
Pero
funny.
wapa Kels, but yeah. That's how I do it.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll get to our last commercial break, and then when we come back, here we go. Hell yeah. What a topic. Okay, so we'll get to our commercial break, and then we'll have more of the show and more of Drena. So do not go away.
Hey everyone, this is Mo Twister, and you're listening to the Kingdom Podcast with the voice DJ Yuuki.
Hello, Radish Farm. Welcome to Mama Moo Central, where myself and a possible Moo Moo star guest talk everything Mama Moo. Want the tea? We got you. Want a song review? No problem. Want to just freak about your best girl? Go nuts! Be sure to follow my Twitter at WhatARadRadish to get the latest and greatest from yours truly, while also updates about when I upload. Well, let's get on to today's topic. See you around!
Hey podcasters! Podcasting has become a staple when it comes to new things to try, especially here in the Philippines. Check all of them out on your podcast players like Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We also hope you can donate to the show for as low as 99 cents via our Anchor account. You can go to anchor.fm/thekingdompodph/support. We want to get as much content out there as possible, and a small amount like this would definitely help us out to keep the show going. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
Hey, this is Jacques, aka Arcady Blog, and you're listening to the Kingdom Podcast with the voice DJ Yuuki.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Again, you can go on facebook.com/thekingdompodph. That's also for our Twitter and our Anchor account. Follow us there. This show will be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you listen to your podcasts nowadays. We still have our guest here. You can like her on facebook.com/Rihanna Sekai and on Twitter at Sonia Dren. Dren is still here. You know how
I'm still here.
You know how we prepared for this show? Like, I was asking her, like, we need juicy stuff for the podcast, you know? And then Drena, such a Girl Scout, so much, like, it's super funny and awesome. She, like, asked her friends, like, may questionnaire siya.
Yeah.
She's like, super cool.
It was an assignment.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to go all
Really?
in for the. Yeah. I was thinking like you can just ask like a couple of your friends, but then like you make questionnaire. It was so funny.
I created just four questions.
Yeah, what were the questions? What were the questions?
Okay, so number one question. So how do they go about their process of cover dancing during the quarantine, especially yung individually shot and then they merge it then put it all together. So that's number one. Number two is when, of course, I researched and I saw that they were able to cover with their group during the quarantine. So I wanted to know how they did that. So, and then also one very important question during the quarantine: how do they practice? Since you can't see each other physically, so how do they practice? And then, of course, the number 4 question is: what are their plans in the future in terms of cover dancing?
Sure. What were the answers that you got from your friends?
So I think one of this one is expected. So the important question, how do you guys practice? They answer that they practice together with the use of Zoom. It's the meeting.
Zoom?
So they practice using that. So like
Syncing
they
issues
said,
though, right?
no, they don't do it like how they do it physically.
Okay.
Ganon. Kasi, of course, they
Yeah.
they ask the members to practice on their own. So, and then after that, magpa-practice naman sila through Zoom. And then, ang mangyayari, I think, pinapasayaw nila yung member and then input comments.
That's cool.
Yeah, diba? It's so creative. So I'd like to thank Maki from Alpha and Jamie from Mixin for answering my questionnaires. So, ayun, may mga schedule sila. And they also plan beforehand yung parang storyboard ng cover nila. Because of course in one frame you can't have all the members in it.
Right.
So they just pick a few members or just one member. So they plan it beforehand, and then they say that on this duration you will dance this part. So it's up to you if you want to study the whole choreography or just study the parts that you will be shown on the frame.
Right.
So yeah, that's how creative the PH cover dance
industry
community is. Yeah.
You guys are like, if this would have been right, the well, not the pandemic, but like the schedules that we have, this would have been so ideal if you kept on still doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't like just for the pandemic, now that we're all at home, napakadaling sabihin na, hey, you want to practice? Yeah, sure. I have nothing to do.
True, that's true.
Is your first love still covering? Would you consider that as your first K-pop love?
First K-pop love.
Or is it covering songs?
Yeah. It's cover dancing. Talaga.
Cover dancing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys take it so seriously. And that's not a bad thing. Because you're being, you're showing your talent like to other people, and of course other people would appreciate it if you put in some sort of effort towards it, and
it's a good exercise.
Yeah, I wish, right? I wish it would have. I wish. I even told like my friends, like, hey, you wanna do a BTS cover? Oh my.
Oh my.
So we were talking about earlier how, like, when you covered Growl and Overdose, and then, 55 other groups were covering that song as well. It's like, were there any groups that you felt ill towards? When it comes to, I'm not gonna ask who the groups are, right? But it's like, what kind of things do you do? What kind of things do you do when it comes to, like, when you see someone na parang, ay, ayoko pala nitong taong to. It's like, what are things that you say, or did you make parinig? I don't know. That's not your that's not any, like, your demeanor at all. But were there any what was the worst thing that you did, like, towards the people that you actually didn't like?
I guess I will be speaking for the cover dancers. I know you guys can't avoid this. Like, if you know that this other group is covering the same group as yours, you would.
Yeah.
You can't help but compare. And
absolutely.
then, okrayin nyo rin yun. Like, mas magaling pa ako mag-cover dito kay ganyan. Yeah, you can't avoid that.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Do you say
would
do you say it sometimes out loud?
out loud, like out loud where? Out loud within the group?
No,
or
no, no. Out loud in public. Yeah, yeah,
Of
yeah.
course not.
Why?
Of course not.
I'd do that.
That's why you aren't dancing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not welcome in the community.
Yeah, that's why you're not dancing.
Was there any point where someone passed you by tapos parang nagparinig sa'yo towards you or towards the group that you're in at the time?
Fortunately, and I'm very proud to say na walang ganon.
Wow, really?
Walang ganon I think for class B and first class. I think kay Nine Flames, not really sure lang because as much as possible, personally, I try to avoid conflict.
Yeah.
I don't like conflict, especially.
What a saint.
Saint, that's my job in Ragnarok. I'm a saint.
Oh, you're a saint? Okay.
Yeah, I'm called a saint.
I was
so.
a champ when I played like years ago.
Oh, that's third job. Yeah. Third job on champ or transcendent
Yes.
job. Anyway, yeah. So I try to avoid conflict. But the other members, parang syempre, of course, nakikichismis din ako. Maririnig mo, uy, si ganyan-ganyan. Pero ako kasi, nakalimutan ko rin.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I was there in the photo shoot. You guys were chismising there as well. I totally forgot what you guys were talking about, but I'm pretty sure that you guys were giggling about something and then you were talking about some cover group. Their name was, hindi, joke lang.
Grabe na siya, oh.
But,
wala akong maalala.
yeah, I mean, they were, I think that was Lynn and maybe Jen at the time. I don't know. Who was your Jessica again?
Si Ate Trin.
Trine. Yeah. I think they were the three that were talking about something and then they were giggling and stuff and it was super funny. So, Sheki being the goody two shoes as well, like doesn't really
Yeah. Kami Ate Shake.
Yeah. And man, Sheki
Avoid
and
conflict.
it's like, you know how I told you that I would upload you episodes back then. So I listened to the episodes with
Oh, really?
with Sheki and you and me. And sometimes just you and me, right? And then I came to the conclusion that I don't want you to hear those because
Why? What was in the recording?
it was so cringy. I don't know. Like, I even tweeted everyone. Like, you guys are like, to everyone who's still listening to this podcast that, started when it was still SoShi Live or SLR the podcast, you guys are friggin' hardcore. Those were cringy as shit, man. Like, I apologize for even dropping any cringy jokes that I dropped
During
back then.
that time, we were the best.
We
Excuse
still
me?
are. We still are. Don't
okay,
worry.
okay.
Yeah, we still are. Don't worry about it. But dude, man, those were cringy as hell. So I want to apologize
To go
even
through
to
the cringy moments.
yeah, man, I listened through the episode, like all throughout the episode. It was 4 fucking hours. So, I want to take this opportunity to say sorry to you and to Sheki for the things that happened on the episodes that we did back then. It was so cringy. I don't want you to hear them. When I told you that I would upload it, I immediately started listening to it. And that's why I came to the conclusion that I don't want you to.
Damn, just one episode would do.
Okay, fine.
For the memories.
Okay, fine. So, in any sort of capacity, did any of your members experience any sort of hate? And what kind of hate was that, if ever? I'm pretty sure there is. Like, you don't have to name the name.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to name like who the member was. But what kind of hate did they get?
I can't remember a specific incident for this because I think it happened for Nine Flames. It happened before I became a member.
Became a member, yeah.
Yeah. So remember, I don't think you'd remember this, but there were Facebook pages for each of the Nine Flames.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I do.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Did you experience hate from that?
I'm not sure, but I think, yeah, meron yata dun. Pero, that was before when I was a member. So, I'm not very privy to the details ng mga ganun. Pero I think meron sa Nine Flames. I for sure, yeah.
But don't you think there's a lot of horrible people in the industry?
There is, not just in the industry, in the world.
No, like specific in the. You're so safe.
Yeah, pero I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I mean, I don't know. Like I've heard a lot of.
Sige nga. Meron ka ba?
Yeah, I think there was this one time where they like binangga pa siya
Oh?
ng bag.
Ako yung kikichismis.
Yeah. Yeah, Drena loves this. So,
Talaga?
like
Sino yan?
binangga pa siya ng bag. Of course, like I don't specifically know kung sino yung bumangga. But so what you did, like, for the questionnaire, I did something too. So I asked, like, an anonymous cover group member, she who must not be named. I asked her, like,
SoShi, who must not be
she who must not be
okay.
named. Voldemorta. I asked her, like, what's one thing that you'd like to talk about? Because I was writing the show. What's one thing you'd like to talk about but can't when it comes to the industry? And then, like, she knew someone na parang, like, binabangga siya, like, talagang nagpaparinig sa kanya. Ano ba yan? Amoy ganto-ganto dito? Blah, blah, blah. So, that was backstage with all of the groups, like, all in one place. So imagine, like, how embarrassing that would feel towards the person. And that person is kind of like someone that's goody two-shoes as well. So talagang nanahimik lang siya. That,
Oh my gosh.
if I were in that person's position, I would feel
Terrible.
horrible.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You guys have a lot of horrible people in the industry, and of course, like, we're not going to address who they are. It's just that, like, we need to acknowledge the fact that it's still, like, regardless if it's a competition or not, you guys are still, so much into covering that you feel that if, like, for example, if someone covers your song at the same venue at the same time, you would bat an eye. You would smirk. And Drena already said that. Like, they would
Yeah.
do something like that. So, but, like, some of the people are just very vocal. And it's so damaging. It's so horrible. I mean, you only get to, like, I'm more of, like, I guess because I've matured at a certain point. That's why I would not really like, avoid conflict, but as much as possible don't want one anymore. So, back then, if this were like a SoShi Live or an SLR the podcast episode, like, I would name the names of the cover groups that we were all talking about, like, sincerely.
harsh mo nun eh.
Yeah, I was really harsh. But right now, like, not because I'm scared, because I'm never scared. It's just that, like, I would avoid any sort of conflict as much as possible nowadays because, I'm already in a relationship, and we're trying to work a lot of things out. Not because we're fighting a lot, because we don't. It's just that, like,
Cheers to a mature Yuki.
right? I mean, like, as much as
Here's my
possible.
glass.
Is that
Yeah.
wine or juice?
It's water with a straw.
Okay, fair enough. There you go. So,
Cheers.
I, as much as possible, I wouldn't want Ali, my girlfriend, to go through the shit that my ex-girlfriends went through because I was like this. So, I don't want her in any way because men are nasty. Like, they would involve, like, everyone. Like, if they find out who your boyfriend or girlfriend is, like, blah, 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 ganto, ganto, ganyan, ganyan, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't want
Oh my
that.
god.
I would love
May
that.
naalala na akong chismis, sorry.
Okay, go. Here we go. What happened?
No. Hindi siya hindi siya cover group against cover group. You know what's juicy na mga chismis? It's the relationship between
Cover groups.
mga relationships na between girl and boy cover groups. And ang mga juicy talaga yung mga mga nabuntis si ganyan. Ganon.
Okay.
Dun, yun ang mga juicy. Pero,
Do they normally, like, sina boy naman, pinaninindigan naman nila most of the time, right? Because that's what's important to me.
I think, yeah.
Because if you're the guy who like, oh, okay, si ganto from ganto, so hot, come on, let's do this, and then they drink or whatnot, and then parang you may think na ano naman like they like each other and whatnot. Okay, so si girl nabuntis, and then guy
Pero
is
there are
like,
instances
no.
na ano, oh my God, yun yung naalala. It's all coming back to me. Yeah.
So what happened? Let's hear it.
But I think I'll get in trouble when I
You don't have to
anything
say
more.
her name or his name or any name. Or
Let's just
how
say
about
na
say
ano,
how they
let's just say this.
Okay,
Na
okay.
may mga fuckboy na nagkakalat ganyan.
Aren't
And
there a lot?
victimizing
Aren't there a lot in the industry?
girlies.
Aren't there a lot in the industry? Kasi syempre, like, feeling gwapo sila, di ba, mga Marlu?
Marlu.
I mean, right? Because there's a
Oh,
lot of beautiful cover group members out there. So,
Yeah, of
most of,
course.
like, for sure, some douchebag Marlu Ariola or something.
Ariola.
All would definitely, like, hit on that person. For sure. There's always that kind of person.
Yeah, you know how K-pop groups have a visual. Yeah, usually more visual talaga.
Hopefully, like, now that there's a pandemic, of course, like, you can only be as creative as you can, but hopefully after the pandemic it would still boom. Like, I would still love to watch cover groups. There's always a sweet spot for me towards cover groups. That whenever I see a cover group, especially with the groups I follow, like, I don't know if you guys know that from a fan's point of view, you guys are the closest thing, like, to our idols as we can get. So we definitely appreciate what you're doing. Like, I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
So, cover groups, just keep on going and, like, don't be douchebags,
Yes, please. Let's have a healthy community, please.
Like, where we had like a calling of some sort already. Pag bumalik-balik naman tayo dun sa industry, sana may bit more camaraderie than
Correct.
what we're used to, because like we're
Yes.
all in this together once we know that we're
We
on top.
are. We're all and you see that.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
all right. So that's basically the show. I don't want any issue about this. I know probably a lot of cover group members will be able to hear this. But before we go, I want to give a shout out to Drena's friend, Jesus. Thank you so much. Jesus. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Jesus.
Actually don't know.
No, okay.
I'm not. No, I actually don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, if I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. But thank you, my friend. I appreciate what you said. I'm not gonna say it on air kasi baka sabihin nila, yeah, ba naman ito, blah, blah, blah.
Should I just say his real name?
Do you want to? Is that it? Would he be comfortable saying that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what's his
Matutuwa
name?
yun. Si Elson.
Papa Elson. I
Papa
appreciate
Elson.
it. I definitely
Elson,
do.
yeah.
Like I tend to get a lot of that nowadays.
Congratulations, you deserve it.
Thank you. I'm not gonna say who they're from or what they say, but thank you very much, Elson. You're I hope you enjoy this podcast as well. And P.S. I don't like Papa Robles as well. So anyway, thank you very much, Drena. Where can we find you? When do you
You're
stream?
I stream depending on if there are people who would collab with me. So
Sure.
I usually stream like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays.
Oh,
Basta
okay.
every night.
Oh, so you do an every
Just-
night thing. Oh, okay. Shoot. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's exhausting actually.
Again, you can like her on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Rihanna Sakai. She streams like every Tuesday to Friday. So check her out. And if you love K-pop, which we do, like she does like a lot of covers there. It's
Yeah.
mostly K-pop, right? Or it's all K-pop?
Yeah, it's K-pop.
Okay,
Yes.
that's cool. Thank you very much. Again, follow her on Twitter @SoniaDren. That's her army account.
And yeah, she's into gaming now, covering makeup. So check her out, facebook.com/Rihanna Sakai. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Kingdom Podcast, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you so much.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Again, you can like us, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and on Anchor at the Kingdom Pod PH. This will be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you listen to your podcast nowadays. This has been Yuki for the Kingdom Podcast and DJ Drenalicious.
DJ Drenalicious.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Love it. That's the show. Thank you very much, everyone. See you guys soon. Bye.
The Kingdom Podcast is executively produced by The Voice DJ Yuki and co-engineered by senior producer Jason Aguayo. Special thanks to the Kingdom Podcast creative team. You can like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Anchor at the Kingdom Pod PH. All episodes are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and any other platforms you use to listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening and see you next time.